But he attacked me because he saw my style is attacking everyone. And so I ignored everyone who said they want to collaborate. I'm like, But this one message, he has his own following. He has his own thing going. I was like, wait a minute. You're a fucking attack him? And then weeks later, one of my guys, Chase, says, no, you guys would be good together. Said, come here. It's like conspiracy. I thought he's going to talk to me about aliens and stupid shit.
I'm not into greys and reptilians.
Yeah, he's not into that. And so he started talking about Pleiadians, yeah. Okay. He started talking about the real shit. And I'm like, I'm the only one on the internet who read about Pythagoras finding every letter equals to a number and all numbers that complete till 9, right?
He's the numerologist now.
Well, yeah, I'm learning. But
he's setting it up.
All numbers are we didn't create them. We just observed them. So they're thought patterns, and they make perfect geometric, infinite shapes, thought patterns of God. So numbers, the date you're born, a month is moon cycle. Month comes from the word moon, 30 or days or whatever.
So does mom.
Or is it 29 days? Mm. Yeah, so does mom, right? Or matter.
That's why a woman has a 28-day cycle. Moon matches mom. M-O-M-O.
And in Freemasonry, I don't know how I know this, probably read a book, but Freemasonry, the moon is the feminine principle. Correct. And the sun is the masculine principle. And your brain is actually divided into a male and female part. The middle is the third eye, where you bite from the apple and you get that solar vision through a sodomy ritual. We'll go into it after. But
I'd rather not. I know it's Pride Month, but I'd rather not.
All right, so Gary, how would you define what you do and your expertise is for someone that has no idea about any of this? The most familiar they are is with like regular astrology that all these chicks are obsessed with.
Here's what
I asked him, not you.
This is answering you. The first 5 seconds of meeting him, I'm like, oh, it's a schizo numbers guy, but he's rich. He knows all these famous people that work with him. They all do readings with him. I said, what is a reading? He said, when are you born? I said, February 23rd, 1994. Before I even finished, what did you say? You said, entertainer? What did you say? Go.
I said, you're an entertainer. You have a short attention span. You got a good mouthpiece. Again, when it comes down to it, communication starts with C. C is the third letter, and you, my friend, are a 3 life path. Just like in history, Rush Limbaugh, Howard Stern, born in the 12, 1 and 2 is 3. You have a lot of famous people. And again, comedians like Chris Rock are 3 life paths too. You're a clown when you want to be. By the way, clown starts with C. C is the third letter. So you see how everything matches within the English language. This guy's a pure entertainer. Why? A lot of people who are born in the 23rd are also entertainers. You basically got the 2 entertainer numbers, 3 and 5. You got them both within you.
Where's the 5?
You're born on the 23rd. 2 and 3 is 5.
Oh, you add them up, right?
Yeah, see?
And you said 8 is the number of money.
Yeah, you don't got that one.
That makes sense.
Yes, of course I do.
You have? What do you mean? You're an 11.
No, I'm a 33.
Really?
Yeah. So here's
what is a 33?
I'm born January 7th.
Do the math. Do the math.
Okay, there you go.
Help me with the math.
You can't do 1 plus 7?
I can't.
I don't know, brother. Oh, you think you want to help him?
1 plus 7 is 8.
There you
this
go.
nigga got money. But you're not a Zionist. You're a Jew. What is a Zionist Jew's number?
ZHERKA starts with Z, so the Zionist, so I'm not sure.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, all right. So this numerology thing, it's always existed?
Of course.
So then why is it, so like the English language hasn't always existed, but you use the numbers from it, like, oh, this is the third letter. So
if you take something with a tool and you built it from that tool, of course it's going to match. You understand? So they built the English language around the numbers themselves. So of course the numbers existed before the language. First it was the Greek language, then it was Hebrew, and then the final language is English. That's why the English language is everywhere. It doesn't matter if you're in Beijing, it doesn't matter if you're in Russia, Mongolia, all the signs are in English for a specific reason.
That's why it's an international?
Yes, that's why it's called spelling. You guys know this. You're casting a spell.
Whoa.
Profound moment.
English is it Phoenician? Does it come from, they say it's like a Phoenician, like where does English come from?
Here's what I'm trying to tell you. No matter where they tell you it came from, they're lying to you. So don't worry about the speculation. Most people even say it was Shakespeare. But when it comes down to it, you have to understand that language itself is coded. So for instance, male. The first vowel in male is A. A is the first letter, just like aggressive, just like athlete. A lot of people who have male energies tends to be aggressive, argumentative, and athletes. A is the first letter. So the
But why vowel? Why would you go off a vowel?
And the vowels are more important.
Why?
That would have to go into secrets I am not revealing.
Oh, that's where he charges me.
That's where I charge everybody. And you have to sign a non-disclosure too.
If you're saying spelling is spellcasters, so does that mean there are words people shouldn't be saying?
Yes.
Because they can cast bad spells?
Correct.
So how do people know which words not to say?
The ones that are spread through the media all the time.
Okay.
The ones the media likes to make famous.
Like what?
I see. Well, he's not going to say it.
Like diversity? Is that one of them?
I mean, doesn't it have the word die inside of it?
Okay. What about progressive? Be more progressive.
All I can tell you is when you look at certain words like alien and you take the A off and the N off, you have lie. When you take a word like Bible, you take the B-I off, you have lie. So what you have to understand is you have to look at certain things that are hidden messages in plain sight.
And you're saying if you spend enough time with every single word that you're obsessed with, you'll find something?
No, you have to understand the numerology first. There's no point looking at the letters if you don't know the numerology.
So for instance, for John, he has a twin brother who's the opposite of him.
Who's the first?
Yeah, he's 5 minutes older.
Okay, so he's more of the alpha.
Yeah.
Okay, that's simple. The first one out is the alpha.
So even though his brother is not an entertainer.
Doesn't matter. The first one's the
Well, he's
alpha.
a therapist, and he's never done drugs or partied. Opposite.
The first one is always the alpha. The second one is pretty much the loose change. So what that means is the second one can still be more talented than everyone else, but the first one's still going to have the much more aggressive attitude.
Yeah, that's true.
There's I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and right by Cleveland, Ohio, there's a place called Twinsburg. And this place, every single year they have the Twins Festival. So I used to go there certain years, and I used to ask people their birthdays just so I could figure out what is the difference between the first and the second. And that's how I always figured out that the first one, no matter what the situation, even if it's a girl, she's going to be the more dominant one. Even if the first one is a girl, she will be more dominant than the second one. When I started becoming a numerologist, first thing I did, like any logical person, it wasn't really an internet back then that good.
You were gambling with this.
No, not gambling. That didn't start back then, but it did later on. But when it comes down to it, you start going to Barnes and Nobles. I know they're all out of business now, but first I used to get those books, and then I'd read these books for hours and hours, just smoke, read these books, and I'm like, some of this shit's bullshit, but I know there's something here. Like, I know there's something in this, but what I'm reading right here is garbage.
So the authors were never an authority to you? You're like, I'm taking this shit out. This stuff's garbage?
Not right away. It took me about 3-4 months to realize that the books were basically, big lies.
Was it watered down?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the basics they had right, but anything even remotely advanced, it was all wrong. Like, people just making up stuff. And in 2002, I started talking to all the best numerologists. They gave me all that courtesy because I was on the radio, talking a little bit. That's how you develop that mouthpiece. You got to talk, and you know all about that. And
that's the only way I can generate a fucking dollar to my name. Huh? You little faggots watching.
And I start just looking at this stuff, and I start talking to these people. And over and over and over, something came up. I started noticing a pattern with these people. And I talked to about 4 or 5 of the so-called top numerologists in the world. They were all old. I'm talking about 70s, 80s. They all learned it from the same person, Juno Jordan. And they basically called themselves numerologists because they read someone else's words and they rewrote it in their own words and put out a book. And that's why they decided they were a numerologist. And the thing that kept sticking out over and over was these people were always divorced. And I'm like, wait a second, if you guys are so good at numerology, why the fuck are you divorced? That was my problem with those numerologists. They were selling matchmaking advice, and these motherfuckers are divorced 3 and 4 times. And the second thing that really bothered me, they're all broke. If you knew what the fuck you're talking about, how the fuck are you broke?
Well, how'd you find the book if they're broke? They have to have some money.
That's shit, dude.
But they have like $1 million?
No,
he was hunting for the
This
books.
is 2002.
How much did they have?
Probably less than 100K, bro.
Oh, that's broke as fuck.
Some people like even less than, honestly, back then probably less than 35. They really didn't have money. They're selling readings for $25. They didn't even know that 3 + 5 = 8. These are fucking morons, man.
Yours is $188?
No, that's my students. I don't fucking talk to anyone for 188. Are you nuts?
How much do you talk?
Well, if you want to talk to me within a month, it's like $575. If you want to talk to me and by the way, there's a waiting list for that. So if you want to get
no, just get him high. I smoked him up. I smoked him up with a lot of weed, and I got a free. He just started babbling. I'm like, let's like this. So I don't even smoke weed. I'm like, get this guy high. I'll get my free. Wait, so these are expensive reading?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, most people can't afford them.
And these famous names that you do it for?
Don't say any
Yeah,
names.
I know. But you'll never say it, right, on camera?
No, of course not. Why would you burn your relationships with people?
So when you found out that these guys
by the
are
way.
failing, did you say like their information is bad or that you had to innovate on it?
If the car gets in a car accident, it's not the car's fault. It's the motherfucker driving the car. So the same thing with numerology and astrology. Motherfucker, if you fuck up, it's not the fucking science. It's you. It's not the people who said trust the science. It's the people who came to that conclusion. I trust the science. I don't trust you.
And you saying military also does numerology?
Yeah, of course. Everyone is CIA, FSB, MI6. They all use this stuff. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? This stuff works. This is like, if you understand psychology and you're a big fan of Jordan Peterson, this supersedes psychology. This is basically like the shit on steroids. And by the way, if Jordan Peterson thinks this is bullshit, I got $1 million, bro. We can bring 20 people off the streets. 20 people off the streets, okay? He can talk to them all for 5 minutes. I want to be blindfolded when I talk to these people. And I bet you I fucking nail those people and their personalities and what they've been through more than you ever will. You talk to them for 5 minutes, I'm blindfolded. What's up? So you're an 11 life path.
Yeah.
And 11s are old souls. So one of the things I like to, so that basically means you've been reincarnated quite a few times to actually have a right to have that energy. So here's what it comes down to. People always see you and they'll open up to you. Start telling their problems. Start coming to you for guidance. This is who you are. Even at a young age, that's who you are. What do you do for a living?
Kind of make videos. Pretty much like explaining stuff.
What do you do? Don't you manage people?
Yes, as well, yeah.
So people come to you for guidance?
Yeah, frequently.
Okay, gotcha.
Most of
Especially
them
my whores. My whores go to him and start opening up, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
You open them up in different ways, huh?
I'm trying my best.
and basically, like, for instance, when you look at 11s, one of the things you look at is, let's just look at the best of all time. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. So Michael was an 11. He mentored Kobe. Kobe starts with K. K is the 11th letter. All of a sudden, Kobe mentored Kyrie. Kyrie 11, he's also an 11 life path. See how it goes down the list? If you just know what to look for. Look at the royal family. Most of those fuckers, from Prince William to Prince Charles, fucking 11 life paths. What do you think? They're all C-sections. They're doing it on purpose because they understand how energy works. Now, most of us can't see auras, so we can't see the energy. But the Matrix, this is what this virtual reality all is. This virtual reality, it allows you to understand what energy is flowing through the numbers. So if you can read the numbers, you understand how the energy works. Is that making sense to you?
I have a question on that. So you're saying basically the world kind of operates on these numbers.
Correct.
Now, I come to two different conclusions with this.
Let's hear it.
One makes a little bit less sense to me. One is the outcomes are on these numbers because that's just the way the world is like wired. It's wired on numbers, so these events and these births will happen on these numbers.
Okay.
Another is a lot of people are conspiring or coming together to make sure things happen on these dates and numbers, which seems a lot more difficult.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
The only reason they would do that is because they understand the numbers have an effect. So it can't be possible two without one.
So so one would have to exist for them to try to manipulate it to become one.
They're just trying to take advantage of the energy. They're doing what I'm describing here.
Okay.
That's why Oklahoma City happened on 4/19/1995. 4/19/1995 adds up to 38. 3 and 8 is 11.
Wait. If 8 is the money number, why would royal family be born as 11?
Wait, can we go through 0 to... So you said the numbers are 0 to 9, right?
Well, not really 0, but we can start with 1.
Okay, so can we just like go through the numbers?
Okay, no problem.
Like the basics?
Yeah,
So,
one in detail.
so 1, well, we're not going. Okay. So 1 is basically the male energy. We talked about that a little bit before. One life paths in history: LeBron James, Napoleon. Napoleon was a leader. That's what 1s are. Even women who are 1s tend to be more in leadership positions. Even women.
Like who?
Sheryl Sandberg, born on the 28th. She's the CFO of Facebook, and she's also a self-made billionaire.
Nick, when you said, hey, ZHERKA, go, when you're looking for a woman, go for an 11. You do good with 11s, maybe not the best, but you said 11s are like Candace Owens?
Oh, she's born on the 29th, 2 and 9 and 11. 11s have that charisma. They're
Yeah,
extremely charismatic.
Have you noticed he's like Candace politically, the jokes, the everything? And so all 11s have the same personality?
No, not the same personality, because environment plays a role. If you put an 11, in San Francisco, it might be more of a rainbow. If you put an 11 in Madrasa in the Middle East, it will be more likely to be a Muslim. So environment does play a role. But what it basically does is, okay, if someone is going to be stubborn, it doesn't matter if they're going to be a LGBT or someone who's a Muslim, because they're still going to be stubborn. But their environment plays a role in their upbringing. So you have to honestly look at everything.
So
It's like an equation. You have to understand the numerology and astrology, and then put the basically environment into it.
But you're saying that means there's prisoners who are intelligent 11s born in the wrong place.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow,
So that's
a lot of
also
wasted
why you
potential.
said, when you talked about the Jordan Peterson thing, why it would be important for you to just not know their birth dates, but to also talk to them a little bit.
No,
you're
Jordan
blindfolded.
Peterson can talk to him. I don't need to talk to him. I just need a blindfold.
And their dates.
I would prefer to have a blindfold on so I can describe the way they look and the way their body looks, because it's more impressive when I don't look at them first. See, when I talk to people on the phone, I describe how they look. And basically, that actually, puts that much more emphasis on how accurate this stuff is.
Wait, just by knowing their birthday?
Yeah.
That's it.
Of course. Okay, for instance,
Bitch, you're fat as shit. You little four.
No, I'll give you an example. Bradley Barton. Okay, Bradley Martin's born on the 22nd, right? 22 is the number of the bodybuilder. So most people who had a history of bodybuilding, as a percentage, not every single one, but as a percentage, there's a lot of them born on the 22nd. The top 2 female bodybuilders of all time were born on the 22nd. That number is associated with building up a body. And think about it, bodybuilder, BB, B is the second letter, so it makes sense that 22 would be into stuff like that. So again, 28 is the number of wealth. Elon Musk born on the 28th. Bill Gates born on the 28th. Hold on, stop. So here's how you prove this. People can say, okay, that's one guy. But you can go and do a list, and I've actually done these graphs of the top 50 billionaires for the past 35 years. And the 28 is always represented a higher percentage, 300 percentage higher than any other number. So there's more billionaires on the planet born on the 28th than any other number. That's how you know it works. Because the facts justify it.
They go off statistics for everything. So if you showed them those statistics, how would someone refute that and say it's schizo? They go off statistics for car accidents and everything.
Let me.
So you have a list of billionaires?
Yeah, of course. Let me find it right now.
Real Jew.
Here's a list of the top 50 billionaires. Look, the 28th. See how it hits?
Holy shit, that's way different. That graph is retarded.
See, so we have the top 50 billionaires in the world, and look at the percentage. Look at the percentage.
So 6 is on the 6th. They're fucking losers. They're not billionaires ever.
Not one. So look, 28. They have 8 billionaires out of 50. 8 out of 50 are born on the 28th. Some numbers, they're not even close. You see that?
Yeah. 27th is a 0.
0 for 22nd, because your bodybuilders never make shit. They make $1 million if they're the best. That's it.
And not too many billionaires.
Wait, where am I here?
23.
23.
There's third. I would be third, not 23rd, right?
No, you would be right here in the 23. You got one.
Fuck.
So you got to make it two, man. You got your work cut out for you.
I gotta kill that guy.
Take his spot. Take his spot. But see, again, all jokes aside, you can find this on find GG33 on Twitter. I mean, how do you disprove that? I say something is. I go through Forbes' list. It's not a made up list, and I put it. And by the way, this ain't for 1 year. I got this graph for 35 fucking years. So again, people can want to say this is all coincidence. I'll ask you why the Dallas Cowboys, the most valuable football franchise of all time, are founded on the 28th. Why is that?
Why is that? Oh, the money. The
Exactly.
money.
Who's the
the
second
money.
most?
I think it's Manchester.